Renewable energy is energy that can be used over time from renewable sources without running out before it regenerates itself. The sources that are considered renewable vary from solar, wind, biomass, water, geothermal, and such. The nature of how Earth can be preserved has been an environmental issue for quite some time. Science has proven that we can utilize natural resources that are renewable in order to minimize the amount of carbon dioxide that is being released into the atmosphere. Currently, fossil fuels is roughly 74% of what is being consumed for energy. However, the more we use non-renewable resources, the limited supply we will have in the future that will not replenish during this lifetime. According to Science Direct, the new formula is modified from the class model and thus assumes a continuous compound rate and computes fossil fuel reserve depletion time for oil, coal, and gas for approximately 35, 107, and 35 years. Respectively, this means that coal reserves are available up to 2112 and will be the only fossil fuel remaining after 2042. Environmentally, this means we have to promote the use of renewable energy as the next step forward that will improve climate change. Using solar panels, wind turbines, along with geothermal/hydroelectric will change the way Earth warms up and grows. Now let's take a look at resources that have the capability to work in substitute of non-renewable resources to put out energy for everyday life without harming Earth. Solar power uses sunlight to attract energy. By using a photovoltaic panel, according to Engadget.com writer Rachel England states, solar power has the fastest growing global energy source in 2016. Solar PV is growing in capacity. It is expected to get the attention of countries who struggle with climate change. China, the biggest investor in solar power, spent $87.8 billion on clean energy in 2016 by installing panels on infrastructures ranging from schools, malls, and industrial buildings. According to Bloomberg News, China's electrical output rose by 80% in the first quarter alone and plans to install more solar PVs in 2017. China is opening up room for other countries to join the surge for renewable energy that is combating climate change. India, another country that is following China's footsteps, have taken extreme measures to battle the lack of power. In November of 2016, BBC News reported that India unveiled the world's largest solar farm located in Kamuti, a city in Tamil Nadu. The 2,500 acre is equipped with 2.5 million solar modules that gets cleaned every day with robots that are solar powered. The second renewable source is wind power. Wind power creates energy using wind turbines, just like the windmills that we so often see when driving past farms. According to American Wind Energy Association, wind power has the ability to make electricity using the airflows that occur naturally in Earth's atmosphere. Wind turbine blades capture kinetic energy from the wind and turn it into mechanical energy, spinning the generator that creates electricity. In addition, more and more countries are adapting to the usage of wind power. In America, it has created 100,000 well-paying jobs and continues to benefit rural lands that are eco-friendly and capable of producing energy from wind turbines that supply power grids that reach homes and businesses. Electricity begins to flow once the wind picks up to 6 to 9 miles per hour and shuts down when it reaches 45 miles per hour to prevent equipment damages. The owners of the land get tax breaks along with income from leasing their land to install wind turbines. So they rely on wind power to provide for their family and their town. In connection with pollution, wind power is known to minimize asthma and lung disease. By using wind energy opposed to fossil fuels, it puts clean air in the atmosphere. Another renewable energy that is much cleaner for the atmosphere is geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is steam and hot water that comes from within Earth. Like the other renewable energy counterparts, it is considered to be clean as well as resourceful. The way geothermal works is there are three types of geothermal power plants: dry steam, flash steam, and binary cycle. According to Renewable Energy World, the dry steam below is piped from an underground well to a power plant. From there, it is directed into a turbine/generator. Flash steam is the most common, where the water temperature is greater than 360 degrees. Flash steam flows on its own pressure from underneath and flows upward. As it makes its way up, some of the hot boiling water turns into steam. Once the steam is separated from water, it is used to power a turbine/generator. Any remains then is put back into a reservoir and sustained. The last geothermal energy is binary cycle. The binary cycle uses the heat from the hot water to boil a working fluid, an organic compound with a low boiling point. The working fluid is vaporized in a heat exchanger and used to turn a turbine. According to Forbes, the United States is the world's true superpower of energy. However, countries such as Iceland uses 30% of its geothermal energy compared to 0.3% the United States is producing. Furthermore, Kenya, another geothermal producer, supplies 50% of the country's power from also geothermal. This research is based on the size and the country per capita production. Needless to say, more and more countries have turned to renewable energy to power up and increase productivity within the country. With roughly 70% of Earth being covered by water, renewable energy from hydroelectric have long been occupied. Yet, in some developing countries, it has led to frustration, attempting to utilize what can help a country that has been torn apart from war within and surrounding countries. Ethiopia's battle over the use of Nile River goes as far back as the days of monarchy. Presently, Ethiopia is in negotiations with Egypt to complete a dam that is capable of putting out the country as the biggest power producer in Africa. Known as the Grand Renaissance Dam, Ethiopia has estimated once complete, it has the potential to generate 45,000 megawatts. It is set to quadruple Ethiopia's electrical capacity. According to SpectrumIEE.org, about a quarter of Ethiopia's citizens have no access to electricity. The completion of GERD will be capable of supplying the entire country as well as neighboring countries. Hydroelectricity plays a major role in developing countries, such as Ethiopia, Sudan, Egypt, and among other countries in Africa who lack the basic needs for day-to-day operation. For example, Ethiopia's investment in infrastructures like the dam for the people who deserve the right education that live without electricity, it can affect how the country assimilates with the rest of the world. Finally, renewable energy is beneficial for all humanity. Finding an effective way to improve climate change starts by supporting the options that lay before us. Solar energy has emerged as one of the options that can decrease the amount of carbon dioxide that is being put out into the atmosphere. With China and India leading the way, it is only proven to be efficient. Wind and geothermal/hydroelectricity respectively have shown that renewable energy is the wave of the future. Thank you for watching and support renewable resources.